Welcome to after raid hours featuring your boys Jack 1620
Hello.
and Jay Titan. What it do, baby?
Not too much. I guess just jump into it. So
Jumping into what? The pool?
No.
It's really hot
I
outside.
don't know how to swim. You know this. It's that horrible shit
There's
I
like a
Huh.
shallow end.
I know. No. I don't like jumping in pools
That's right.
at all. But no, I think just hop into what's been going on. So what have you been up to since the last podcast?
Absolutely everything. And by everything, I mean nothing. And by nothing, I mean I've been working on my car a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got her up to speed.
Yes.
So, it's been a hot 2 months. It's also been a hot 2 months since I've worked a day. So, I'm going stir crazy. But really, though, I've been working on my car and then some house stuff. In general, we're getting ready. Eventually, we're going to do the rest of our fencing and doors.
Taking care of the business.
The business. Yeah, I just got to do some stuff there, getting prepped. It's already the middle of June, which is nuts.
Right.
Outside of that, I've just been playing some games with the boys across state lines. So,
Nice.
Final Fantasy 14. It's been a time sink. It's been a lot of fun. And then kind of paying attention to Pokemon Go, but
As of just recently?
not really. Yeah, it's one of those things where everything's starting to open up.
Yes.
And everything's starting to, I guess, I don't want to say go back to normal because there's a new normal, but everything's starting to, we're able to play kind of back to I would consider a healthier way of playing,
Okay.
as opposed to just sitting around. So, but, we still have to be cautious and still have to be safe about that. So I've been kind of excited. I've been, I wouldn't say hiatus. I've just been marginally playing Pokemon Go.
All right.
So that's I'll do my dailies and I might hop into a raid if it's up the street or something. But outside of that, it's not really that big of a deal. Also with that, I haven't really been doing too much tournament wise. Just kind of trying to host one a month or whatever. But I haven't really dove into it. So I'm looking back to get back into it. In terms of coordinating, especially with our local businesses,
Right.
again,
Got to show support.
and really started getting back on track. Also been distracted with Pokemon Sword Shield because the new expansion's coming out. And
Isn't that next week?
No, it's 2 days. Or tomorrow.
Fuck.
Tomorrow. Yeah. It's in a couple days. So anyway. The new expansion's coming out for Sword Shield, so I've been a little bit distracted with that. So Pokemon Go has kind of fallen down
To the wayside.
on my list.
Okay.
But that being the case, I'm excited to get back into it, and I'm excited to play more normally, though it is about to be summer, which is hot as fuck.
Yes.
It's already been warm.
No me gusta.
Recently. But, we have ways to combat that, and it'll be nice, sweat off all the quarantine weight. And then, and really, like I said, getting back into it. So we got a couple events coming up. They announced GoFest tickets, or rather, released the GoFest tickets for sale, which is going to be similar to what we've been championing this whole time, which is GoFest at home.
over a year.
Yeah. And then there's there's Community Day, so now we get Weedle, we get the Murder Hornet, we get and then next month will be Ghastly, I believe.
Yes.
So that'll be kind of neat. And then
I wonder if Gassy will phone Community Day. No, they'd have to have it before the GoFest.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine they would have it before GoFest.
Yeah.
Because
or the last. Yeah.
They'll probably be. I imagine it'll be closer to the beginning of July though.
But you have 4th of July.
Who gives a shit? What? This country's going to hell.
There's a lot of shit going on in this country.
No, but really though,
no doubt.
4th of July is Saturday? The Saturday?
Yeah.
So it could be the 5th for Community Day.
No.
You don't think so?
No, dude. They're not going to try to overlap it. If anything, it'll be the weekend between the two. So it'd be the 11th or the 18th.
I don't think it'd be the 18th.
Why?
Because it's too close.
To
Remember last year they did it like a whole like 2 weeks before GoFest.
Yeah, but now with GoFest being at home, I don't think they're going to care.
Yeah, but they want to bring more attention to GoFest, so it's a little different.
So that would be the 11th then.
I imagine the 11th at
Okay.
least.
It sounds like a good time.
Probably.
No,
But anyway,
yeah.
So that's coming, and then so like we're getting some events on the docket. We also have again, like I want to do tournaments, but I also want to just promote our local businesses more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So tried and true heroes. We also have the Piper Inn, which has been amazing. Their food is wonderful.
It's
I don't think I've had
delicious.
anything on their menu that I don't like.
Sure.
And Jed really takes care of us. Everyone really takes care of us over there.
Yeah.
And they got a new outdoor seating kind of set up. They said it was really, really nice. I guess they've been open for a couple of weeks. Because I was talking to Jed earlier, and I was like, "Hey, what should we? How's everything going?" And like he said, and I was like, I wasn't sure if we should be sending business to you yet, or if you guys are open, or how the opening stuff is. And he said they've been open for a couple weeks. But just like every other small business, they're struggling to recover from the COVID and the quarantine and stuff. So what I would like to encourage everybody to do is support your local businesses. It doesn't have to be Heroes. It doesn't have to be the Piper Inn. Those are just two that we love very much.
Highly recommended ones.
Highly recommend. They really take care of us, especially as Pokemon Go players. And they, like I said, they have wonderful food. They're wonderful people. And they're legitimately local businesses. So I would give those two suggestions. But if you have a favorite local that you love, local brewery, I'm pretty sure they're hurting. They want more people, etc. So
I'm pretty sure folks have been hearing about certain movements taking place in companies that might support things you might not support. So local business has been one of those things you could definitely kind of go to support because it's going right back to the community, and a lot of communities need that attention.
Yeah, and like I said, I kind of want to get back to the community aspect of Pokemon Go. I think that's what I've been missing the most. Like, yes, playing remotely's been fine.
Now 2020 is a perfect year for that.
Yeah, and so like I would love to double down on our community efforts.
Okay.
Now that's it'll be nice to get back out and melt under the sun for community days. but really though. It'd be nice to really work with, again, local businesses, local charities, local companies again. Yeah. Even more so, and really supporting them. So, real quick, before I tangent away from here.
I didn't even get to cover what I was up to.
We'll get to it. Just a second. No, I just wanted to say, because we're on the local business stuff, Niantic released this thing called Local Business Recovery Initiative. So basically, they're trying to help out like 1,000 small businesses.
Okay.
Local small businesses. So the idea is to support your company. So there's a little link, and then if you're on Aurora Masters, we'll be posting it. And I encourage you guys share that link around on your Facebooks, on your Tweeters, on your, if you can TikTok it, you can TikTok it, whatever. But anyway, I encourage
all the social media.
I encourage sharing it, and nominate the local business that you want to support the most. I personally would like to nominate again Heroes and Piper Inn. Mm-hmm. And I very much like everyone else too, but pick whatever you want and go ahead and support those. It really go a long ways to helping them. Submissions are open until the end of July, so the 31st. But nominate as much as you can when you can. And again, we'll share those links. Niantic put a little news post about it. But anywho, sorry to dive.
You jumped way in. Jumped in that deep end.
I'm gonna go all the way back. Okay. So I've been just kind of beating my meat and enjoying my life. No, really though, it's been wild because again, as you all know, I've been furloughed. Since April 14th.
Jesus.
What is today? It's June 15th. It's been 2 whole months.
It does not feel like it, but at the same time,
and they said I could potentially be. They said last I heard was the next month or two. So I mean, I could be out until August.
Yeah.
Still, which is a quarter of a year. So it's a long time of me. Till August would be almost a third of a year. But anyway,
like math.
Either way, so I'm excited to get back to work, but I don't know how I'm gonna take it at first because like It's going from...
It's like a summer break that you didn't plan.
Yeah. It's kind of nice. I'll be honest. I enjoy not working, but I also really want to work.
And see, that's going to be a weird transition for you.
Yeah, it's going to be super weird.
And many people who are furloughed.
Yeah. But I digress. What have you been up to other than killing 2 vehicles with 1 battery?
Shut up. So...
That was my fault, guys.
Like, I'm sure some of you know I do work for the state and doing stuff there. And sadly, my state vehicle died. Tried jumping in with my vehicle, and then that ended up messing with my battery, so I'm not too happy about that. No, I've just been working from home, staying busy with that. We're getting people and trying to just stay as safe as possible because we have to be the example. Is kind of one thing we're always trying to do. So wearing mask is like second nature now. I leave the house, make sure I have keys, wallet, and mask, and I go.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. And it's still pretty important. Me and my roommate are still cranking out masks. So if you do need one and you live in the Aurora area, feel free to message me. Because we definitely have a lot of fabric, and we're just trying to get masks to people who don't have masks. Because obviously,
that's awesome.
A lot of places are starting to kind of reopen, and I like, people called it the new normal. I just call it kind of second wave. I'm just, again, I don't, looking at some stats, I'm like, this is not going to be the best, and people are kind of getting a little bit more carefree.
Definitely more carefree. I've been
just
seeing
because
that
it's summertime.
Everywhere I went earlier today, I've been to this couple of different stores just to get like some supplies and stuff for my car because I was finishing up, and I went to the gas station and stuff like that. And like, actually, the gas station was interesting. Everyone had a mask. That was the first. That's even good. The people that were just pumping gas at their pump, they didn't go inside the store itself. But the grocery store is a whole different story. People are just kind of going in there. The masks that you guys make are pretty amazing. I really love these ones.
Aw.
And it's great because they just tie behind your head instead of like resting on your ears, which is
it's
a game changer. It really is. So. I think, even if we got back to no threat of a disease or virus or whatever, I like wearing a mask. I'm like one of the few people that likes
I want to
it.
make it more fashionable.
I think it could be like a fashion, a fashion thing.
If I could coordinate it with all my dress shirts, I'll just be like, solid.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be dope.
Just be like, what's up? And they'll be like, we don't know if you're smiling or whatever. I was like, you'll never know.
Well, I mean, to be honest, everyone knows you're smiling because you smile with your eyes. That's how you know fake smiles, like in photos or whatever. If their eyes just look dead and they're smiling, quote unquote, they're not smiling. They're not happy. They're just being forced to smile, like for a photo or something.
Yeah, I've seen too many of those.
Like, think about Chris's smile. You know when he's smiling because his eyes.
He gets really squinty.
Hell yeah, dude. But anyway, I digress.
No, so everyone's wearing masks. Everyone's being safe. Home life, I've just been trying to knock out a bunch of yard work stuff because, again, there's a time. And again, I like working from home for the fact like I could be in the meeting and I'm folding clothes or cleaning up, or I'm like eating my food, or I'm just taking care of business much faster than I would physically going to meetings and having to listen to people.
See that?
We're kind of being forced now to have video conferences. Like, they want to see my face, and like being a biracial angel, it's always tough because it's hard to compete, but it's still just kind of annoying, but something I can easily do, so I'm not gonna like fight it. I've definitely been playing more Pokemon and trying to get more out into the world, especially, but I do it early in the morning because I'm trying to revamp my sleep schedule. If there's anything you could do now, yes, and not overeat.
No, overheat.
Overheat, yes. Well, kind of all of that.
Okay.
So wake up early. So I'm trying to get up at like almost 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30.
About when I go to bed.
Jesus. And me and Dotman X get together, actually, and we'll either walk at Mission Viejo Park, or we'll walk around the neighborhood there, or we'll go to like Aurora Municipal Center and walk around there. And it's been great because I get my 10,000 steps, what they say you should get, kind of minimum, in the first 2 hours of the day. And we'll have like what we call our constant live chats. And so it's just varying topics. So we've talked about like the protests, we've talked about what's going on in Black Lives Matter, we're talking about what's going on in Pokemon, especially The recent things with Go Battle being shut down because of cheaters and things of that nature. And now we're probably going to talk about like the
Go Fest?
Pokemon Go Fest and how that's coming out. And again, like Justin and I have said, we've been preaching word of this ever since we got that makeup day from Chicago.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
And how awesome it is. And I'm glad to see that Niantic is taking a very proactive step with it and helping to donate to good causes like the Black Lives Matter causes, and then also to support more local businesses that have been affected by this, because a lot of businesses, again, have been affected, and they've been very fortunate to have a platform to where they can still get income from players who are home. And I don't even know if they've had an increase in it, just because more people are trying not to get the quarantine 15. Yeah. And like trying to get active more and like
I
doing
think
that. So
I also like for just talking about the Go Fest pass real quick. I do like the price point. It's $15.
Yeah.
Which is like it's like when you're playing a game like Pokemon Go and you might spend money on it monthly or whatever. $15 is just like that uncomfortable enough to be like, it's a lot but not a lot. You know what I mean?
It's that sweet point. It's not $25 or $40.
Yeah. It's not $400 aftermarket. Like the first Go Fest or something like that.
F those people who did that.
Yeah, scalpers. This eliminates scalpers.
And then also you don't have to worry about the plane ticket. You don't have to worry about a hotel, because like we had to coordinate. You coordinated a good bulk of that. I was a freeloader for the most part. I was like, Justin got this.
But yeah, so yeah, you don't have to do the travel arrangements or anything. But even just the price point of the ticket itself, because they could have easily done $25 for stay at home, and you get all these benefits because you get both days, which you didn't get at the physical Go Fest.
True.
And the trade-off is you also don't get like the whole thematic stuff. You don't get the big team tents. You don't get rained on constantly. You don't get
kicked out of parks. You're not that one kid who lost his shiny Eevee when they shut down the game. That poor kid.
But either way, I really like the $15 price point. I think it's
solid.
It's a smart, solid move. And like you said, I know they pledge at least $5 million from the proceeds minimum to really great causes out there. And then. And they're continuing to support. Like, I like seeing that from Niantic, because we've, even on this podcast, talked about them as kind of greedy in a lot of different ways, and it's good to see them give back. And like, just speaking on the whole Black Lives Matter stuff, I don't know if you saw that memo that Niantic themselves had given to their employees.
The thing I've been seeing most of companies doing that are just people getting really bitter, and I'm just like, damn, they just can't contain their bitterness. Which is just sad, because I'm like, you can disagree with them, but like, keep that negativity to yourself. Like, there's no like, let that fester. I always find that's how I always know who's like aging fast are usually like the super bitter people. Like, anyone who's like super youthful, most likely not holding grudges or super hateful. Yeah. So that's what I always look at. And these people just, again, they can see something like AMC did a similar thing. Like, they did, like, we stand with this movement, and people are like, oh, stick to your shows, or maybe you should use your energy to make The Walking Dead better, or musicians who are doing this, and they're like, you should just stick to music and not get into politics. And it's like, this isn't... It's not really a political matter. There's a lot of things it is, and people can use whatever platform they want to speak their mind. We see that all the time. So if it's a topic you just disagree with, you don't have to entertain it on your platform. You could do like anyone else does, unfollow, do whatever. Yeah. Like, there's plenty, you don't have to always put in your comment. I think that's where social media has gotten to the point where everyone feels a need, even if it's super spiteful, to always speak it. Like, you just needed to know. I was like, no, I didn't. You could just as easily shut the fuck up, and I would be just as happy. But either way, like, those negative comments are going to stop people from trying to make good progression. And so I'm happy that Niantic did that, and that people shared that message out.
Well, I was going to just say, like, that was one of the... And it was, like, very thought out. There was, like, 4 pages of it or something like that. Yeah, I was like, whew! And, like, I was just going to say, quick kudos to Niantic. I know you're listening. Always. Quick kudos to them for being that responsive about something that's huge. Not even just in our country, but this is worldwide, you know? Yeah. Like, and so, like, despite, I don't want to get into that aspect of it as much, I just wanted to say quick shouts to Niantic, because they were pretty quick on the ball, and they're quick to help communities, because that's what the game's about, right? It's about community. It's about being social in a good manner. And I'm really appreciative.
There's very few companies that do that. Like I know Ben and Jerry's is doing that too, and making donations and things like that for the positive development overall in communities. Yeah. So again, there's businesses that are doing things of that nature, and again, smaller businesses that are just trying to make it. Not everyone is this big entities that are getting bailouts and whatever silliness that they can probably survive on. And there's other companies that are trying to support their people, and local businesses are one of those entities. Again, there are people in your community that are probably working businesses that need the help. And I know Hourz, especially when I go in just to order food, I was always treated greatly just because I'm showing up, and they're just like, wow, you actually show up. I was like, of course, like, you guys are awesome. You guys have always treated us well. You let us host our tournaments here. Like Shelly, like, bless her heart, she's always been on top of our food orders for like massive groups. Yeah. And like wasn't afraid to ask for help if needed, but also great memory, great everything. And I just think there's those people who should definitely get the spotlight in all this, like those essential employees that had to work and all that. So definitely shout outs to all those folks that kept us going. And I think it's great that we can now take this time to give back.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, again, I want to double down on that effort, because the community is fucking great. And, we've had really great people to work with in various aspects. You know, the two businesses, sure, but like every charity that we've worked with, you remember?
I've actually got a lot of letters back from them. Like, thank you so much for making the donations. Yeah. Some personal cards. I've gotten personal emails. Just saying thanks, like thank you for showing support, because right when everything happened I still had some donations, so I was still making those payments, and people were just like, you're still I was like, yeah, it's from our communities, from Aurora Masters, and we had this, and I want to make sure you got it, especially now. And they're just like, oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, it's not, we gotta still help out each other. Like, all the problems have not stopped because of COVID, so
it's true. But yeah, so I'm ready to get back into it, I think, for that.
You've had some good rest?
Sure. We'll call it that. I just haven't been motivated. You know, like, it's just one of those things, like, I'm a bitch when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because, like, before, I was complaining about being overwhelmed by events, because it was overwhelming. There's just so many things to do, and it's hard to keep up. And then, like, I've shifted the way I play to where FOMO doesn't rule me. And, Restroom was out. I didn't go get 20 Restroom. I was like, I'll get one, and then when it comes back shiny, I might try to get a shiny then, but no biggie. Even with the swords. I love the Swords of Justice. Teriyaki Boy and Verizon and what do we call the other one? Cobble? Well, it's Kabbalion. Yeah. I'm just trying to, like, is there a fun nickname for Kabbalion?
No.
Ah, boo! Anyway.
There's no fun name from Verizon and Teriyaki Boy.
Yeah, anyway.
Shout out Seville for Teriyaki Boy.
For real,
that was the best name ever.
Teriyaki Boy. But anyway, those came out shiny. But I was just like, I'll try. And, like, I didn't get it. I was like, oh, cool, whatever. Well, it's fun. But, like I said, I don't let FOMO drive how I play. But even then, like, I can't imagine if I still played with, like, FOMO as, like, the main mentality and all those events are happening. So anyway, I used to be overwhelmed by the amount of events. So then obviously COVID and everything, they cut back on those, and there's still a good amount of events happening. Yeah. And it's very convenient to be able to play. Been liking that aspect of it, but for the most part it's just like,
well, because what's past hasn't really been like super hard. So they had the special research, so they had the championship for the throwback challenge.
That was pretty cool.
So you could get your Genesect, and the main kind of haul on that was doing the 15 raids. And so thank goodness they've kind of listed out all the times they're going to have these kind of raid hours, or raid hour for like Reshiram and everything. So able to knock it out, catch some good like fire dragon boys. Mm-hmm. And then Zakram is actually coming out tomorrow, the 16th. He'll be out. So then
big icy wiener.
Well, no, he's electric.
Yeah.
So he's going to be out. and get some of them. So looking forward to that. Because again, I'll do that raid hour the first hour because then that's when everyone wants to go and like. Again, if you do raid trains, I highly, 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 highly recommend coordinate a meet location via either Discord or Facebook or whatever social media platform you're using. Get the small group together and just let people know right out the gate, hey, if we drive to a location and you can't make it, don't waste your pass. Like, if it's filled to 20 and you hop in and maybe there's 5, stick it out because 5 people should be enough to take it if you're at a decent level. But if you can't, you're going to have people commenting like, I didn't make it, and they start complaining just like, bish, jump to the next one. It's okay. Like, even in the short hour you have for it, you're able to get at least like 11 or 12 if you like hammer down and you do it.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of like getting that communication down at first, because that's something I've actually gotten back into since everything's happened with COVID. Is me trying to be a little bit more active with raids and raid parties. But then they also did like the spotlight hours. I think the only good one they've had thus far that I've actually joined was Bronzor. Mm-hmm. Was actually decent. They had one like a week ago for Pat Rat. It was a joke. Like, we walked the full hour. The spawn rates weren't nearly to the same degree as Bronzor was.
Okay.
But I didn't care because I already had like Pat Rats, so I was like, whatever, that's fine. But some of the perks are nice, so I want to definitely jump onto some of those. And it's just a matter of like staying on top of that. Then obviously, like you said, we have Community Day coming up for Weedle. So that should be interesting because we're going to be in Texas when that happens.
True.
So I'm just going to have the game out. I'm just like, sorry, I need to get my little bee going.
Ready to catch some warm bees?
Yeah, I want those boys. I think it'd be good. What else is happening? So, Synachron's coming out. We just had Throwback. Genesect was easy aside from the challenges. But again, they at least made that challenging.
Yeah.
They had the Latios raid weekend, which I didn't understand. I think it was just... That was one of those kind of like... Here's something, because we just can't think of anything right now.
Well, I was thinking, like that and the Pat Rat feels like they just mailed it in. But for the most part, like, some of the events have been really pretty interesting. Or at least,
like the throwbacks were solid.
The throwbacks are really cool, because you got a lot of different new things, but also good opportunities to get some great old things, like special moves on your legendaries and things like that.
The only thing I would really want them to do aside from just making events is, again, just rotation of things. They've been rotating the raids, which has been great, because those Pokemon are shifting. But bring back some of the old boys we haven't seen. So, like, we haven't, like, Nincada, Ninjask, have those in more field researches, because you still can't really get those. And maybe that's why they're waiting for the bug out event, because I think the summer solstice thing is this coming weekend. And then the bug out event is the next weekend. There hasn't been many details for the bug out event, besides someone is saying that the shiny, what's that little rock bug? Dwebble? Okay. That he's supposed to be shiny, but that's word on the street. I don't know if that's been confirmed. But you can get your shiny bug, so I'm just hoping to get some more shiny Wurmpools. Yeah. Because evolving at an unknown, I've had 2 shiny Silcoons. Mm-hmm. Or Cascoons, which sucks.
But you need the other one.
I need the other one. Yeah. So, and I had like people like, I'll trade you one, and then they're like, oh, never mind, I traded that one already.
I think
I'm like, damn you.
They either need to change their pool for the special research or the idea behind it, or the 7-day box.
Yeah, they're just like, it's Trapinch right now?
Trapinch? Yeah.
Yeah. We just had a community day for it. Like, no, that's where they could do something special. And then with Go Battle being down, just to dive into that. So talking with Dotman X, basically what we've seen, and for me being a little bit more involved with Go Battle, more than tournaments, that's been my fighting arena, has just been there. People have been finding ways to get triple shields out, which is annoying. But then the other thing is people are manipulating the charge rates. So people are able to do 2 moves and be able to launch earthquakes. things that are normally like the longest to
like
charge,
7 or 8 to charge,
they could charge within seconds. And it throws it off, so you have people who are able to triple launch these attacks in unison. Like, they weren't built up, they had no prior charge energy, and they've been able to knock it out. And they've already taken some of these reported cheaters out of the leadership boards because they were that high in ranking to where they're making it on those boards. But then you have everyday players. Like, I've been straddling between rank 7 and 8 for like the last 2 weeks. So I'll get up to 1,900.
Yeah.
And then I'll drop back down to like 800. And I've just been in that little ballpark. And I was like, son of a bitch. And again, I trade on my Pokemon. I give a new moveset. I'll trade out the rotations just to see what I can do. I try not to look at the meta.
Oh, meta.
I hate that fucking phrase, but
Meta,
I try
meta.
try not to use it, but at the same time, I use it more to just see what Pokemon people would use and plan around that.
Yeah.
But not always trying to focus, like, I need the top 10 of the meta and go forward.
Well, hear me out. If you use the top 10 of the meta, you'd probably be higher ranked.
I can maybe get over that hurdle, yes, because ultimately, like, the prizes still aren't super awesome to where I need to bust ass to get like 3,000 wins for that Pikachu Libre. Because again, I still don't think Pikachu Libre is going to be worth it unless like it's showcased more.
Yeah.
I just like go battle because again, it's something fun to do. I'll do it after I do all my physical exercise stuff.
Yeah.
I've worked my day of work from home.
I really hope they keep it the way it is.
Like, well, they've adjusted it, so they made it to where you get better perks at lower levels.
I meant like, so you don't have to walk to battle.
Oh, yes. I really hope they keep that. I hope that they keep the rearrangement so that way you don't have to get 4 consecutive or 4 wins out of 5. It's just 3. That was a great choice. And again, it's just one of those things where they can make those adjustments, but again, some of these other events that they make, I'm just like, you don't need to. You can have a weekend or two, because again, give the programmer some downtime. Like, they don't need to pop out an event that people don't really care about, like Latios and Latias right now. No rhyme or reason. I think the only time you should really bring out the legendaries is if they have a new move. Because again, when everything happened with COVID, Aeroblast Lugia just fell to the wayside.
Bye.
And I wanted him a lot. Like, I was just so pumped for him, and he stopped. And there hasn't been a word from the sea of where he's at. And we know he's coming back sometime, but like he's been awfully silent. So that's one of those things. Maybe that might be because again with the Go Fest, they've announced some of the perks for day 1, but day 2 is kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
And it'd be really cool, again, just kind of putting positive vibes out there. It'd be cool if, and again, I know it's not going to happen. It's super wishful thinking, but if they actually had, like, legendary encounters as part of, like, a special research.
I still adhere to the idea that legendary should be in the wild.
Imagine if
like
they did
raids?
that. Like, you just see, like, Suicune
on
like that beautiful rock, majestic as all fuck. I'd be like,
or the lake spirits.
The lake spirits would be awesome.
Been back, so like it'd be really interesting if you're just chilling, you're playing normally, and then you have a chance. Is that Suicune? What the fuck? And you tap on it, wild Suicune,
and then he's shiny.
I mean that's a possibility, but that's my point. Is like I don't care if the rates are ridiculous. Yeah. And, it'd be weird if you're like, oh, there's a wild Suicune over here, and you, launch it in your community page, and then, 30 minutes later, some kid misses it, whatever, I don't care.
No one cares about that.
But, my point is, I still think legendaries should be in the wild, especially if they're just bringing them back for whatever. Locking them behind raids, I understand why, but at the same time, I think it'd be interesting, and I think it'd be a lot of fun.
And it'd be a good throwback to just, in general, if they wanted to kind of continue on a theme of throwbacks, to bring back, say, for GoFest Day 2, that maybe if they are in raids, that they're, in level 1 raids, so you could just solo them. or something like that. If they're worried about people just kind of overkill of having them in the wild, have them in raids so then you could go and battle a few raids just like they would for raid hour. They just say, all your gyms are going to have a legendary Pokemon at random. You just hop into the battle and you'll find out. That'd be kind of cool. But again, they have the abilities. I just putting those positive vibes out there.
Oh yeah.
That Niantic, there is options.
Do it. Do it.
That, or again, like I'm kind of curious to see like their new special researches, because obviously everyone got Genesect already.
Yeah.
So are they going to bring another mythical Pokemon? Because that's typically when they release a mythical.
Yeah.
So who would it be?
Shaman.
Would it be Shaman? Is that the little hedgehog-looking dude? Cute. He'd be a good touch. And he's a plant Pokemon.
Either Shaman or sweet baby Arceus. 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 Or Pokejesus? What do you want from me, dude?
No, like, and again, like, there's so much that can be done here, and I'm kind of excited to see, because again, I'm glad they didn't put any cap on GoFest, because that's what they've done in the past. Like, you buy your tickets, and that's where all those bots came in and bought it, and then we're selling them for $400 a pop, and people were buying that. I couldn't imagine spending the $400 and having all those technical issues happen.
I can.
I would be just destroyed emotionally, physically, spiritually, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it's one of those things where I'm hoping that people support this and aren't afraid to buy that ticket. And I hope it's really good spawn rates. I hope that the shinies are like top notch.
If it's anything like our makeup day, I think it'll be a success.
Yeah. Well, and that's what kind of makes me worry, because all the Safari events I was hearing from people that they're it was so. But then again, I don't know how hard those people.
I hearkened the Safari event to the Regigigas. I didn't do the Genesect.
I did, and that challenge wasn't hard, except one of them was like catch dragon. Like people are like, what do I do? I'm like, just go to your local 5-star battle, and there's Reshiram right there, or find an alone executor, or you can be
meant the pass, the $8 pass.
Oh,
not the challenge, but the $8 pass to buy, because
you could either or. So if you didn't do the throwbacks, the 4 of them,
no, before that. Remember how they did it's like an $8 colossal event pass for Regigigas?
Yeah, I definitely did not do the.
They did the same thing with Genesect.
Yeah. What
I'm saying is the Regigigas one was kind of a letdown. Like, I like the idea.
I see what you mean.
And I should have done the Genesect, but it was in the weird times. I was like, am I really going to go?
You should have came with us.
Essentially. No, well, I'm talking about the $8 pass one, not the throwback challenge.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't know if it's any better, but I imagine the Safari Zones are similar to that. Just kind of like, they're there. Like, Safari Zones don't have enough meat to them. There's a featured Pokemon.
Be a little bit more girthy.
There's I would definitely like more girth.
Mm-hmm.
There's a featured Pokemon that'll be shiny. That's like, oh, Safari Zone, but then eventually they just release it worldwide anyway.
Well, and that's the other part, like you're saying. They release it worldwide, but even if it's there's not that many of them. So people are telling me about like Teddy Ursa, for example. They get maybe 3 Teddy Ursas compared to like a community day where you can have like up to like lowest I've seen someone get is like 5. Highest I've heard someone getting during a 3-hour community day was like 24. But they'd maybe have one mission where you can encounter a specific featured Pokemon, and then that's it. It doesn't spawn anywhere, and they're just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, fam. Like, that sucks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the Safari Zone event, so like, I don't know. I feel like there's not enough featured Pokemon, or there's not a good theme to go with it. I think, and like they've kind of remedied that in the past with doing like a like another event alongside the Safari Zone, like the Bug Out event or the fighting event or whatever like that. But like,
they stack them.
It's just like when the Safari Zone ticket comes out, you're like, oh, that's cool. Like, especially because they had the one in St. Louis that we were going to try to we as a community people were going to try to go to because it's finally one in the U.S. and it got canceled for good reason. But like, you know, you look at the little flyer and you're like, oh, sweet, there's 4 or 5 featured Pokemon, and like I can only imagine you spent that time to go travel over there, and you run into decently increased spawn rates of those 5 Pokemon, and that's it. As opposed to, like I said, if there was like an overarching theme to the Safari Zone. I don't mean like you have to do like a worldwide event thing. I think the Safari Zone should have its own theme, like almost like the bug catching contest in Gold and Silver Pokemon, or something like that, where there's like I said, just like an overarching theme with the Safari Zone to give it just more meat, more substance. Because like I mean, yes, it's cool to get a shiny that hasn't been released before, but again, they just release it worldwide with the event. So what is the point of me going to the Safari Zone?
Just banking on that FOMO, son.
I guess I don't understand. And like, yes, I like the idea of going to a city to explore the city and learn more about their community and like all that other stuff. I love that aspect. But if the main driver for me to go to that city is to take place or take part of this event, make the event worthwhile. So that's just my gripe on Safari Zone. So I can imagine, like I said, you've heard in the past, Safari Zones, like even Montreal or whatever, in the past. It wasn't that long ago, but they're just kind of like, Versus GoFest, it's a little bit different. Like our GoFest Makeup Day, there's a lot of featured Pokemon because in a standard GoFest you have the main areas, like there was an icy area, like the spooky woods, things like that. So you have different
ice, fairy, desert, like water.
So those are all themes. Like if you can imagine like just one of those areas, that's the theme for the Safari Zone. Like Safari Zone Winterland, Safari Zone Fairy Fountain, whatever.
Yeah.
That would make a lot more sense. GoFest was a lot more interesting because all of those Pokemon were featured and the spawn rates were great because we had to make up for not being able to
finding Togetic.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessarily a featured Pokemon, like look what you can get, but it was definitely like one of those perks. And again, like we were kind of cheated because they had a Alolan Sandshrew and Vulpix out and about, but that's before they were shiny. But you could at least catch them, so that's a perk of not having to walk your 7Ks. You can run into those boys. And so there's more than just the shinies there. There was rares, there was things that were typically only in raids that were available. And like you said, for Safari Zones, you don't see that. It's just like one shiny, a few rares, maybe a regional.
Yeah. Like make your Safari Zone a mini GoFest.
Yeah, like that's how it should be. And maybe they'll take some of this constructive criticism and maybe with the success, hopefully, of GoFest 2020, they might think to revamp that, especially if it can have a remote. Maybe they might be like, is this worth our time? Better to do this as opposed to reserving a giant park, having to coordinate with local authorities for blocking off traffic in this area, having to coordinate with all the food people to do this. Is this more worth it? ? Or if they do it, maybe just focus on one city instead of being all separate, having separate smaller cities. Again, it's something for them to. We know that they're analyzing stuff because obviously, like same with the Go battles when they found the cheats, they shut it down and they sent out a message via some of their kind of Pokemon Go liaisons and other like Reddit formats and things that were like, hey, Niantic found this issue, they can't pinpoint who it is, so they're just going to shut it down so no one else can cheat and benefit. And it's going to be shut down until they can get this problem resolved.
Yeah.
And then there's been other pushes where they're going to be a little bit more strict on kind of the spoofer analysis to see who's cheating, and so there'll probably be another wave of bans coming for people that are exclusively doing just spoofing. So again, if you're part of that spoofing community, like be mindful of that crap. Because again, Niantic's trying to really kind of tighten up the ranks, I would say. Yeah. With what they're doing and going forward, which again, if it's in the progress of trying to make the game better for the community overall, and giving better events, okay, like do it. Yeah. Like, gotta handle it.
Yeah, I'm again, I always say this like every episode, but I'm curious to see how the game evolves from this point, especially with Niantic. Like I said, it seems like they're doing a better job about responding to the community listening to the community, and they've been putting forth, for the most part, some pretty interesting things. The throwback events I thought were great.
Yes.
But I'm also a sucker for having like a guided challenge, like the special research challenges or whatever, like the 9 steps or whatever.
It gives you like a good motivation to run.
Again, I will forever champion the idea of putting a story mode in Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Like, how fucking cool would that be?
And again, like we've talked about in the past, of like, for like Safari Zone St. Louis, like if they would have done something themed to St. Louis of like learning the history of it, or like injecting Pokemon into like the culture of some sort, and like, find this Pokemon would love this kind of water thing, find this water feature, or find this art installation. That's how you get people involved. Because one other thing I've been involved with is Wayfarer, because since I've been out walking, I've been trying to pay more attention to the environment and finding these things that I'm like, that would make a really good stop. And I highly encourage level 40 players, get on Wayfarer and start like going through. If you're bored at home, please review those things, get them approved. Like, obviously some stops aren't going to be good. Some are like, a street sign that has no cultural significance, but others might be a park feature. Some might be maybe
some really cool installation,
an installation in a restaurant, or an installation in a public building, or something like that could be eligible to be a Pokemon stop. Wayfarer needs that additional feedback in order to process these things to get them rolled out. I've actually received like 3 acceptances, which is phenomenal, and I'm still trying. Like, I'm almost have Chris's account to level 40, because once I get there, then I'm going to have his, I'm going to have mine, and then I'm going to have our buddy on sabbatical, Corey's account, to then start submitting more stop requests to places. And then, like you said, with the impact of local businesses, Niantic is looking for feedback like that. So definitely, if you have the time, please use it wisely. And there's ways to find that to make this gaming, not just our gaming experience, but the community better overall. Yeah,
I think Pokemon Go is a great vehicle for that. So
yeah.
Well, you got any final remarks?
Again, continue to stay safe. Mental health is a big thing. So if you feel cooped up, go outside. Just be smart about where you go.
Yeah, I think if you have the time to go out in the morning, like you're saying, because it's about to get hot, and I mean hot. So what I encourage you guys to do is like go early in the morning. I think when it's still kind of cool out.
Oh, it's beautiful in the mornings.
Support local business. Get like a good like little breakfast burrito or coffee or something.
Oh, if you're in Aurora, go to Sabor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you haven't been to Sabor or L&L Hawaiian Barbecue,
L&L, my
or
man,
the Banh Mi little
5280 Banh Mi Grill over here by Wing Hut,
right off of Chambers and Hampton. Go there, like amazing.
Like there's a lot of great local businesses. I encourage you guys to all go out, find new ones, and support your local businesses because they really need our help more than ever.
Yeah.
And
places like Taco Bell and Pizza Hut, those places for the most part will be fine. Not saying you have to completely stop ordering your favorite foods.
Yeah,
but like branch out a bit.
Yeah, just weave in some local businesses there. They're more than happy to help you, and they do some great stuff. I mean, I don't think I've ever been disappointed with the local business here, whether that's retail or food, and it's mostly food for my fat ass, but it is what it is. So either way, just take care of yourself, be safe. I still recommend wearing a mask when you go out because there's about to be likely a second wave of the virus. Just be careful, be very careful, and just be mindful, and again, support our community. We love you guys, and that's all I got for now.
Yeah.
We out.
Bye.